Well, welcome to the last week of class.
Through your chair.
Pardon?
Push your chair out of the way.
I'm going to have to move it out here if that's the case.
Okay, well, I'll just zoom in a little bit. Or
Does that do it?
that a bit, thank you.
Okay. All righty, moving my chair out of the way, he says. Okay, we can do that. Okay.
Nothing like technical difficulties on your last day of class.
So I go this way to get the center. There we go.
Display should go
Alright.
away soon enough.
What?
The extra display should go away soon enough.
Yeah. All right, we've got Gavin and Tyler, Rachel, Alex, Haley, Ariana, Kellen, Jeffrey. So it looks like we've got 8 folks here now. That's good. I am going to change glasses. Oh, that's a little better. Go off screen. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're getting folks here. I will go. What?
Turn the chair again.
Oh, turn the chair again. Is that better? Okay. Okay. All right. We have only the last week to get through. The biggest issue that I always end up, unfortunately, catching 1 or 2 people in at the end is that there's just no grace period at all. Sunday at midnight, the class is over. I have to have grades in and corrected, everything ready by 5 o'clock on Monday. So there literally is no grace period available for any classes for any assignments that you get, that you want to get done and hand in a little bit late. I'll just have to say no. So I'm also going to make that announcement at the end, so that everybody that is able to be here can hear that announcement and make sure everybody knows. Okay? Because I do try my very best to make sure everybody gets the best possible grade that they deserve. And frankly, I don't believe people deserve bad grades just because they find themselves in a situation where they miss a homework assignment. I try to let you know with abundant time for you to at least finish the assignment, so that you can get those grades in. So anyway, with that being said, are there any questions about the final? If so, please post those questions. The final literally is 3 questions, 3 separate essay questions. Do each one in 1 paper with 1 title page and 1 references page. You don't have to start and stop or try to hand in 3 separate papers. You don't start and stop with a title page and references page in between each paper. None of that. All 3 questions just flow in 1 paper. Just use a title to list the question, answer the question, move on. Okay, so that way you keep it all succinct and all in 1 paper. What happens if you try to hand in multiple papers is that the Turnitin software and Canvas will only give me the last one. So it'll look like you only answered the last question. You get only a third of the points. So do it all in 1 question. A bit confused about the final essay. It says need 750 words per question. So in double space, size 12 font, that would need about 3 pages per question. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. It is about 250 per page. 250 words per page. So yeah, that would be good. Is this a class? When did it start? It is a class, as well as any visitors that want to come can come. So I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your first name, but Trong. We talk about Bitcoin. We talk about blockchain in this particular thing, particular live stream. But visitors are welcome. I've had visitors from all over the world, especially Australia. So, this is the final week of a class that is held in St. Charles, Missouri. So you're free to join and be with us, and we talk about good things. Usually talk about articles, but the last week is going to be a little bit different. But so thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here. So, any other questions? Oh, Chase just joined us. Okay, very good. All right, we have 11 folks here, and we're going to play a thing called Kahoot. So, Hui, I think it might be, Trong, we'll put Kahoot on the screen, and their Kahoot is kind of like a question and answer thing that everybody can competes. Yes, I will have this class again. That this class will happen again. We'll have an 8-week break, and then it'll start for the summer session. Yes, so for 8 weeks we'll have a break, and then we'll start this up again in 8 weeks. You'll see me scheduling about 2 weeks before the summer class starts. About 2 weeks, you'll see the schedule laid out for the 8 weeks of live streams. So you can join us at the beginning and kind of build up all the way through it, because we'll talk about a progression of subjects during that time. And Jeff, no. Oh, I love the I love the banter. It's great. Yeah, everybody's going to second and third and fourth that suggestion, I'm sure. Okay, so Luke can't do the Kahoot. That's fine. Thanks for letting me know, Luke. I appreciate that. So, let's get up. Oh. The thing is, with the poll, I have 51%, pull in the poll, so it never hurts to ask. You're right. It never hurts to ask. This has been such a good class. There's, very few people that are probably going to get poor grades, if any. So, yeah, Tyler, it would be rigged. The instructor's always right. The instructor always wins. Alrighty, well, let's start the Kahoot, okay? So I'm going to hit the start button here, and the game pin is coming. And so the game pin is now 5949695. Go ahead and go to kahoot.it on your phones or mobile device, and or computer if you're able to use the computer in another monitor. I only have 5 monitors, so I could choose any one of those. You know how that goes, but not all people have 5 monitors. Okay, last Kahoot, best Kahoot, may the best one win. Yes, let's do that. Yep. So you'll see the kahoot.it code in the just below the game on your computers, or on whatever device you're watching us tonight on. Alrighty. Uh-oh. Who's calling themselves last place? Is that you, Robert?
No.
No, it's not you today, huh? Okay. Okay, Robert, Zach, Kellen, Hui, Rachel, Robert. You wouldn't be Robert, would you, Robert?
That's a pretty good guess.
Pretty good guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got 8 folks. Now we got 7. Uh-oh. we're going backwards. We have 13 viewers on right now, so let's. Luke can't join. Also stuck in the office is Chase, so two folks can't join.
There's an imposter. And I have Robert too.
Okay. We keep on going between numbers. We got 9 of us. Should have about 11 or 12 folks if everybody can go. Alrighty. And there's Jeff. Okay, good. Okay. I think we're ready to get started. I don't see Tyler there unless he's impersonating Robert. So, okay. Ready, set, let's go ahead. Let's go get it started then. Okay, first question is I believe a true false. Okay. Okay, true or false? Private blockchains use proof of work. Private blockchains use proof of work. True or false? Blue is true and red is false. So we got 2 answers. 3, 5. Okay, we're getting the answers in. 6. 7, 8. Okay. Robert, did you deliberately answer wrong? Okay, we've got 2 folks that answered correctly and 8 folks that answered wrong. No, private blockchains do not use proof of work. Now, the reason why that is the case is that private blockchains need to have a high volume of transactions. So, proof of work deliberately slows down the number of transactions so that a block will be closed every 10 minutes. So it can take, 30, 40 minutes to close a transaction and get enough blocks after that transaction to consider it immutable. So private blockchains don't even come close to using proof of work. They'll use another consensus method, of which there are a lot of varieties, and they're more being invented all the time. You can't hardly keep up with them. So they'll use everything but proof of work. Now, proof of work is what Bitcoin uses, and that is why they constantly complain that there's a lot of computing power that has to be used in order to close each block. And because of that extra computing power, they use a lot of computing resources like electricity and get criticized for that a lot. So now proof of work is only there because they need to secure the network against hackers, because it is a public blockchain. So public blockchains use proof of work or proof of stake or other consensus methods, where private blockchains either use proof of login, proof of a valid login. The people that are in those blockchains are known to the system, rather than people in the public blockchains being unknown in the system. So you don't know whether you've got a hacker in a public system where you know the users in a public and a private blockchain. And so therefore proof of work is just not used in the private blockchains. So let's see who did what. The two people that got it right are Robert and Justin. Okay, interesting. Well, let's go to the next one. See if I can stump more people, huh? Okay, private blockchains use a lot of power to process transactions. So is that true or false? True is blue and false is red. Private blockchains use a lot of power to process transactions. That'd be electrical power. So let's see. Okay, Dylan has joined us and Jackson has joined us. That's good. Jump into the Kahoot if you can. The number is on the screen. So go to kahoot.it and join in. Join in with the fun. Okay. Keep going. We got 9 answers. Come on. Private blockchains. Okay. Fantastic. We got 7 people answering right this time. Yes. Public blockchains use a lot of power because many times that's proof of work or proof of work consensus, and because of that they use a lot of power. So all right, let's see who climbed up the leaderboard. Okay, Justin took over the top spot, and we got a few that have answered the question right. Okay, very good. Let's do the next one. True or false? Private blockchains are nearly infinitely scalable. So we have some scalable machines on the screen there. Almost infinitely scalable is the question. Private blockchains. All righty, we got 7 answers in. There's 8. 9, okay. True is 7 answers, that's good. False, it's public blockchains that are not very scalable. Part of the push with the Bitcoin blockchain is to try to get the Bitcoin blockchain to use smaller block sizes, so that block sizes are able to be done quicker and change the model a little bit so that they could close transactions faster. And that's simply to try to address the issue of scalability. I really believe that Bitcoin's really going to have to figure out the scalability issue, especially if we have other countries that adopt Bitcoin as their currency of choice for the country. They're basically their fiat currency. If Bitcoin is chosen, they're going to need to figure out the scalability issue, especially as it becomes more and more popular. Alrighty, so let's see who's okay. Robert's dropping down, and Justin is still on top with the leaderboard. Alrighty, and Justin has the highest streak of 3. Okay, and since this is question 4, yeah, he's answered all 3 right. Private blockchains can process hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. True is blue and false is red. Private blockchains can process hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. All righty. We got 9 answers in. 1 more answer. Been about 10 people answering each time. Okay, see if we can get that last answer in. Oh, okay. A couple other people have joined. That's good. Or at least one other person has joined. Okay. We have 11 answers total, and we've got a split decision here. Private blockchains can, and do hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. So the whole point of a private blockchain is that it is scalable. It can handle the burden of huge number of transactions on each second. And the reason behind that is many times they use some what is that scaling method that they tend to use with proof of stake? That
you talk about sharding?
They use They heavily use
Yeah.
sharding, which means that transactions aren't necessarily being processed linearly. They're being processed synchronously as well. So transactions get published out to the distributed ledgers in a synchronous fashion rather than all asynchronous. So it doesn't have to be done in a solid line. So they achieve these high levels of transaction counts per second, where private blockchains couldn't even come close to this. And the problem is, if you're going to compete with Visa or MasterCard in processing, credit card transactions, just for an example, you're going to have to be able to process this level of transactions per second, because frankly, both of those networks process, tons and tons of transactions every single day. So let's see how we're doing here. Justin's staying on top, but Ariana looks like she's catching up a little bit. Hui, has answered 3 correct answers in a row. That's great. That is great. Okay, so true or false? Public and private blockchains have the same pros and cons. Is that a true statement, or is that false? True is blue on your screen and false is red.
Feels like all of today's questions kind of have the same sort of theme, don't they?
Yeah. The whole idea of today's theme is, do you understand the difference between cryptocurrency blockchains and the private blockchains that are running business? That's been kind of the whole drumbeat of the whole class along the way. So we've got 9 answers in. Okay, it is false. That's good. We only have one person that answered true, and that was probably Robert. Just keep him off of the podium. So let's see here. Okay, nothing changed in the leaderboard for the top 5. Everybody just added more points, but Ariana is catching up. Okay, Ariana's getting in there and answering quickly. That's good. Okay, this is the last question of the night. Blockchains that do not relate to the finance face regulatory uncertainty. Blockchains that do not relate to finance face regulatory uncertainty. That'll be an interesting answer. Gotta think about that one a little bit. And boy, we only have 6 people on still.
I think the timing on that one was
the timing on that one was
short.
Oof. In other words, it ended by itself instead of the number of questions.
Yep.
My apologies to anybody who got cut off there.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That might be the deciding factor.
Yeah, that might be. Okay, Robert 2 climbed to the top there. And Jeff. And did Ariana hit the top? Justin. Okay. That last question kind of like there. Ariana 4th and Zach 5th. Okay. Well, that was fun. That last question. What was the last question now? Remember that?
Do blockchains not related to finance face regulatory uncertainty?
The issue there is that blockchains related to finance tend to be public blockchains for some reason. I haven't seen finance, distributed finance apps that were private blockchains yet. The CBDCs would be the closest thing you would find to a private blockchain that is finance focused. All the others seem to be built on Ethereum or other public blockchains that can do smart contracts. So the chance that that a non-finance one would have any regulation at all is very, very small. Because they don't have finance, because they're not related to finance, they just generally don't have regulation. I mean, there's not the government that's going to come and regulate your supply chain software and tell you how you need to configure your supply chain software. It's just not going to happen. So things that don't relate to finance generally are not going to have regulation. So that was the intent of the question. Okay. So everybody's saying good job. Didn't even get done reading before it told me time was up. I'm sorry, Rachel. We got to check the time on that one, Robert. If you could jot a note, we'll check the time, make sure that that doesn't happen. One of the things we had to do, there is a 7-second delay between me talking and you getting the next thing. And the default, I think, was only like the default was like 20 seconds per question. And we had to make sure we adjusted those to a full minute to give everybody enough time with the delay plus time to answer the question. So obviously we missed that one because that one caught me off guard even. Alrighty. So there were a few people that joined us during the Kahoot and just before the Kahoot. I do want to cover the final for next week. Please make sure it's all in one document because you can only turn in one document to Canvas. Turning in one document basically means that you put a title page at the beginning, you answer all 3 questions, and then you have your references page at the end. Use a title for the question to demarcate between each question, and 750 words for the question. So I'm expecting a paper of 1,250 words in total for the body. Technically not including the title page and the end page. We're not talking page count this time. We are talking words. If you want to kind of have a feel for what you're talking about, each question would be approximately 3 pages for each question if they're all double spaced and 12-point font. If you hand it in 3 separate papers, I'm only going to get the last one, because that's the way Canvas works. So each submittal replaces the previous one. So I want to make sure I'm able to grade the whole thing. Now, there's no grace period at all for the papers. My apologies if this is a repeat. Just want to make sure on this week's current events, we have nothing due tonight. It's just all due at once. Yes, you can take your current events this week is to vote on your top 3 favorite articles that were posted during the previous 7 weeks. So yes, those can all be submitted on Sunday and all together. So your final papers and everything is just due on Sunday. That's a good question. And no grace period, unfortunately, because when midnight comes, it cuts off, and then by 5 o'clock the next afternoon, I have to have all the grades done and handed in, and there's 25 of you in this class, so that means a lot of papers to read, so there just isn't time to provide any grace period for anyone. So I'll go through. If you've gone back in time, I always go back in the weeks to make sure that I've caught up on grading those ones that were submitted a bit late. So those of you that are still working on quizzes or things in previous weeks, I will go back and make sure that those do get graded. Because basically it gives me an error when I try to get done if a grade is not in. Okay, now, Robert, it's like taking Bitcoin from a baby. What's like taking Bitcoin from a baby?
So the question is, how confident are you going into the final? Option 1 is like taking Bitcoin from a baby. Option 2, I'm feeling a bit uncertain, kind of like an ICO. Or like FTX in 2023.
Okay, uncertain like an ICO. Like FTX. Okay, we keep bopping between 75% and something else. Okay, so about 60% of the class seems pretty confident. What is like FTX in 2023?
Well, you know what happened to FTX in 2023?
Yeah, it went
crashed
belly up.
Yeah, it went belly up. That's how how bad they're feeling. They're about to fail the class.
Oh. Okay. So, 2/3 of the class is pretty confident that they're going to do okay in the final. And frankly, I'm an easy grader when it comes to things like this. So, enjoy. Okay, Sam Massey just logged in there. Okay. Nick just got off work. Sorry he's late. Okay. Josette got off work. Typo there. That's fine. Okay. Very good then. Why don't you call for the final roll, Robert? Just want to say thank you so much for everything. It's been a great and fun class. Well, I hope I've made it fun. It's good. So, we ended up with 53% confidence and 33% uncertainty, and 13% feels like they're going to fail the final. Not going to happen. We're not going to have 13% of the people fail that final. Not going to happen at all. Alrighty. Well, very good. I'm going to keep watching the chat window and making sure there aren't any final questions. I do appreciate everybody being here. It's been a great 8 weeks, on my end anyway. It's been a good class. So look forward to kind of hearing about everything that's going on as you progress through your schooling. He says, I forgot to submit the essay a few weeks ago. Now it's locked. Can I email you? Or is it possible to unlock it so I can submit it tonight? Are we talking about the midterm essay that's 4 weeks ago? Because frankly, the reason why it's locked is because you'd get 0 for it at this point. So, and the problem with not handing in the midterm is it loses 2 points per day, 2% per day that it's late. And if it's, 4 weeks ago, that's 4 times 7 is how much? It's 28? 28. You'd still get some points for it. So I will go look and see. I didn't realize I locked any of the courses, but I'll check and go see if I can unlock it for you. Okay? I'll go see if I can unlock it for you and give you whatever credit it'll allow me to give you. Okay? All right. A little confused. Is this class associated with university credits? Yes. The other students who are asking about grades and such, this is a 3-credit class, 3-semester credit class at Lindenwood University. It's in St. Charles, Missouri. Yes. So, okay. Why don't you, Robert, if Hui Trong wants to know, get in touch with me, why don't you put my email in the chat window for him? Sure. rhanson@lindenwood.edu, and ask me whatever questions you want. Okay? There it goes. That's my email at the university. So go ahead and let me know if you've got other questions. I'll gladly answer those for you. All right. I'm going to call it a night and look forward to seeing your progress as you go through, and hopefully everybody will find success. So we'll talk to you later. See ya.